I wanted to offer this perspective on crop damage as another example of synthesizing understanding one relationship at a time, and also demonstrating how we often end up promoting what we actually want least. I'm I'm currently experiencing crop damage, and because I'm a farmer, it's really interfering with my livelihood because I won't be able to sell the crops if they're damaged. So I begin to investigate and find out what is it that's causing the crop damage, and I find out that I have crop-eating insects, which are munching away on them on an ongoing basis. And because I'm a farmer, I have learned over time that the best response to dealing with insects is that I go ahead and apply pesticides because it, in fact, kills the crop eating insects. So I have a balancing loop, which is control insects. Though it seems that if I'm killing the insects, why is it that I have to spray pesticides every year? Why am I not just killing all the insects? Well, as it turns out, I don't actually kill all of the insects, and the ones that are left have insect births, and those births add to the crop-eating insects. So I have a vicious reinforcing population growth loop that is in fact creating more and more crop-eating insects that are damaging my crops. Now, so I could go ahead and spray more, but it seems as though year after year I have to spray more and more to take care of the same crop-eating insects. And if I investigate, I find out that apply pesticides. Insects have this nasty habit of developing an immunity to pesticides, so that immunity to pesticides actually increases the number of crop-eating insects, which promotes more crop damage, which causes me to apply more pesticides, and therefore I end up with a pesticide immunity reinforcing structure, which is moving me in a direction that I absolutely don't want to go. And at the same time, I noticed that all of these crop-eating insects, there seems to be more of them, and they weren't around before. And I asked myself, what else are those applied pesticides actually doing? And I find out that there are two kinds of insects. There are good bugs and there are bad bugs. And when I apply pesticides, I kill the controlling insects, which were in fact eating the crop-eating insects and diminishing the extent to which they were causing crop damage, causing me to apply pesticides. So I end up here with another reinforcing structure, which is a predator destruction loop, taking me in absolutely the direction that I don't want to go. So I end up at this point with just 4 loops, though it's apparent that what I'm doing is not helping the situation. It's actually making it worse because I'm creating pesticide immunity among the insects, which is increasing the number of insects, and I'm also killing the controlling insects, which is promoting more crop-eating insects. So if I continue to apply pesticides, sooner or later, I'll completely damage my own crops by my own actions. Now, this is just the beginning of a set of relationships. One could go ahead and continue to ask the same question over and over again. What does this influence and what influences this? And you continue until you've identified all of the relationships that you consider relevant having to do with the situation you're trying to figure out how to deal with, which is crop damage. And, one of the things that you might think about is if the controlling insects are actually helping manage the crop-eating insects, maybe I could promote the growth of more controlling insects. And if I did that and they ate all the crop-eating insects, what would they eat next? Because they're probably pretty hungry then. So you have to just continue to look at the individual elements and ask, what does this influence and what influences this? And it gets you to a point where you have a set of relationships that give you a sense of why things are the way they are, and you're much further along than our typical cause and effect mindset, where this is the cause, this is the problem, and this is the solution, and I don't think about it any further than that. And by actually implementing that solution to the problem, I end up getting myself in more problems than I had to begin with. Complex situations are often counterintuitive in terms of the way that they behave, and I continue to find that developing relationship maps helps me understand. And when I get to a point where I don't know what else to add to the set of relationships, then I go ahead and share a video like this with other people and ask, what else do you think it's relevant to add to this set of relationships that helps me better understand how to deal with the crop-eating insects that are damaging my crops? Note that this, if you go to the project for this, you can actually walk through the sequence step by step, so that from here to look at the control insects loop, to go to the population growth insect, each one of the loops is actually documented. And where in the notes section of this video and wherever this video is posted, there's a context link which will take you to where crop damage is in the midst of the Pesticides project and show you what else is related to this. So hope you found this interesting, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye.